Hey everybody, happy Friday. I am set up here for my automation happy hour. We did one last week. Before that we were off for a week or so. And now we're doing one again this week. It's July 10th. And the world is still pretty much on fire. But we're going to do some automation today. I don't know if that will make the world a better place or not. Hoping better. And today, departing from my usual playlist, a couple of folks that I met recently that have some music that I really like, so throwing it on here, hoping it's okay with them. So you can check out these folks on Bandcamp if you like the music. Let's see, what did we do last week? Last week we did a little demo of Appium 2.0, something that I'm working on right now. When I have some time. And it was a fun demo. We're demoing the driver command line interface. Now I've moved on. I'm working on the plugin system. Appium 2.0 is going to have a plugin ecosystem where you could develop plugins for Appium, share them or sell them to other people, whatever you want to do, basically. So that's pretty exciting. Any other housekeeping today? If you're watching the stream, let me just give me a little check-in here. Let me know where you're watching from, what time it is for you, what sort of beverage you're enjoying at the moment. I'm drinking this. One of the components of this drink is this fake ginger beer. I say fake because it doesn't have sugar in it, which is, you know, good sometimes, but just doesn't quite taste the same. Okay, I have been trying to figure out what to automate today. Didn't have a lot of time to think or do any prep, but I've got my Android phone here. Let's connect up Visor. Move that away. Here's our device. I think we did iOS for UMail, so we're gonna do Android for today. And I've decided that let's try and automate YouTube. So YouTube, let's see. I'll clear out, say I was messing with it manually a little bit. YouTube, everybody knows. Place where you watch videos. The home page. You can see the kinds of things that I've been watching because I'm actually logged in on this device. Not sure. Well, must be logged in. I don't use this device, but you know, Google accounts follow you everywhere. So apparently, I recently watched videos that relate to Hamilton, Tiny Desk concerts, and trumpets. Fun stuff. Checking out the chat. Hey, Gopi. Thanks for tuning in from London. It's always good to see you. So what do we want to do with YouTube? First, I guess we want to figure out if we can launch it with Appium. Shouldn't be too difficult. Then I was thinking we could go through a basic, search. Maybe we search for videos related to Appium. Maybe we tap one of them, make sure that we can play, pause the video. I'm not sure. We'll get to anything beyond that. Maybe we won't even get to that. We'll see. Let's get started. So first thing we want to do, open up our code project. Here it is. You can always get to the code yourself. Go to github.com/appium-pro/ for automation happy hour. Also the sound that a drink advertisement might throw at you at some point. So somewhat thematically related, I suppose. Here's a bunch of code if you ever want to check that out. We keep all of our app launch logic and data in something called conftest.py. It's the file that PyTest looks at for all of its configurations. So we just keep all of our PyTest related stuff in here, including PyTest fixtures that let us start Appium sessions on different apps. So we've tested a bunch of apps here. So I'm going to add one down at the bottom. I'm going to take the last Android thing that we did and put it here. And we'll call this, this is YouTube, isn't it? YouTube Android capabilities. Now I don't know what the package and the activity are, but we can hopefully figure that out. The rest of the stuff should be the same using UI Automator 2. We do have an Appium server running. This is an Appium server that I installed. It's actually not a development version. Well, it is sort of, but I installed it from NPM. And I did it by installing Appium at Next. I made a mistake a few days ago, or last week, I suppose, when I published Appium 2.0 beta as a beta on NPM, which broke our CI because we use betas for other things. So, oops. And now I'm publishing Appium 2.0 as Appium at Next. So if you want the latest Appium 2.0 beta, you can npm install -g Appium at Next. So that's what I did. Now I can just run Appium. Should launch. Right, so first of all, let's figure out what the package and activity are. First thing I usually do is run adb shell dump sys window and windows, something like that. And we can see that there's an activity here that has the form package / activity. This is the thing that is open at the moment. com.google.android.youtube. That looks like the package. But what about the activity? This is the watch while activity. I don't know if that's the thing that will help us to launch this application. So let me close. You see what I'm doing here? I'm closing. Actually, I'm just going to close all the applications. So now nothing's open. Yeah. So the only thing that was open recently was this recent activity business. So if I just open YouTube, basically fresh. Well, maybe I didn't get it in time. But if we still have this watch while activity, we could try this. No reason why we couldn't try and launch the app this way. Might work, might not work. We'll see. So what's another app that we did like this? We did Twitter like this, didn't we? So I feel like in our Twitter test, did we force stop the application first and sort of close it? I don't know if we did that or not, but it would have been a good idea if we didn't. We did that on iOS with Zoom. We terminated and reactivated the app. Just wondering if, well, getting ahead of myself, maybe let's not do this yet. So we obviously want a new test file. We're going to call this test YouTube.py. Test YouTube, and it's going to have a test method called test play, and well, this is going to be a lot, so we'll just call it test find video happy path. I always like happy path one word just because it seems so silly, so fun. And this is this, and it returns none. Remember, we're using typed Python, so get to do fun stuff like that. Now we go back to our comp test. We have a method where we enable different types of drivers. So let's add a little section here. If we ask for the YouTube app, we want a YouTube Android. Should be enough to let us see if this will work. So here we're gonna say our driver equals, oh, we need to pass in our fixture. I think it's called make driver. So we're gonna make driver YouTube. Yeah, that's a, how does this fixture work again? What we're doing is we're actually yielding a method. That's pretty clever. Forgot that we were doing that. But so this should just work. Let's just open up something we ran earlier just to make sure we have everything working here. Oh yeah, we also want to import some names because we're doing typing. So we need to say what type things is. So the make driver is a type of make driver. That's something I'll show you in a moment. And driver is a WebDriver.remote. So I was talking about the type of make driver. It's here. It's a callable, which means a function type, and it takes one parameter, which is a string. In other words, the name of the driver that we want to initialize, and it returns something that has an instance type of WebDriver.remote. So I don't know why I have to actually specify that driver is WebDriver.remote here. I shouldn't. So I should get all the driver stuff on this object, but I don't. So there's some gap in detecting that I'm calling this function and seeing what its return value is. So that's why I have to specifically annotate driver here. Now I get all the actual driver stuff. It's kind of fun to write Python and get really fancy code completion, things like that. I'm using Vim, by the way, so this stuff is not, don't need a crazy IDE to take advantage of all this. But you probably do need a crazy IDE to actually like close these little windows. Oh, how do I, there we go. That's how I get that to go away. Okay, so let's try and run this test here. We do that saying pytest and just say test youtube.py. I've got my Appium server running. Let's see what happens. Oh, the app is already open. This is not gonna, let's go home. Don't really use YouTube too much personally. I don't consume a lot of video content. Although, oh sweet, things launched. So that means we're in business. We can start figuring out what flow we want, building out a page object model, and so on. So let's just walk this through. I'm gonna try a different sort of approach today. Just walk through the flow and stub out the page objects so that we can then fill it out. YouTube. So here's how it goes, like this. We start off. Oh, that's me. Automation happy hour. Nice. Because I am streaming on YouTube. Forgot that. So what we can do is we can create a new page object. I actually want a directory here. So then we can create, and what page is it? What is this? This is, I guess, the home page. Oh, weird. This is like worthy of we're getting the infinite right here. We're getting the hollow mirrors, infinity mirror thing going on, because I am mirroring this phone, which you can't see in the video, but I'm mirroring it to my screen. It's being streamed to YouTube. The phone is watching YouTube, and YouTube has decided that I should look at myself here to know that this is what I'm doing. Not the smartest move, I don't think, on YouTube's part, but anyway, here it is. So, wow. This is blowing my mind, y'all. Maybe it's just because I studied philosophy and this seems somehow deep. It's actually, I don't think deep, but it's interesting. What were we doing? We were deciding what to call this page. Let's call it home. Oh yeah, that's what YouTube calls it here. Home page. So, and we're naming everything. So I'm going to, with the prefix for the app, so I'm going to call our app prefix YT. So I'll call it YT homepage.py. And this will extend from base page. And let's just take another page that we did on Android and copy some stuff from there. Oh yeah, that's how we import. Don't need Twitter search page, but there is base page. Oh my gosh, I always do this. Whenever I create Python files, I'm using the Java naming syntax. I'm not using underscores like I should. So I am gonna copy this and then delete that file. Or I guess I should just move it, shouldn't I? It's more sane. Okay, yeah, that file doesn't exist anymore. But if I look for a home page, now it's here. Great, now we're doing the Pythonic thing. Okay, so what can we do on the home page? Well, the thing we're gonna wanna do is search. So let's create a search method that's gonna take a string, which is the search term. Just call it term. And we don't know what it's gonna return yet, so we'll call it none. Right. So we're gonna search. I think maybe let's search for Appium. So we'll wanna type in Appium. Appium Naveen automation. I don't know. Is that a person's name or a thing? Curious. Okay, we search for Appium though. We got all these videos. What's an appropriate one? Well, here's a webinar I did with Headspin, wow, 2 years ago now. Wild. Oh, cool. It's got a certain amount of views. That's nice. So maybe what we can do is click on this, but before, well, let's figure out what page we're on now. Right now we're on the search results page. So let's make a page there for that. Search results. Search results page. And what can we do on this page? We can play a video, I suppose. We can play a video from the search results page. So we'll say play video. And we'll need something like video title. I'll just call it title. Now we need to actually add these pages over here to our YouTube from pages dot YouTube dot homepage import YT homepage, and from pages.youtube.search results import YT search results page. Sweet. Now that those are imported, we can actually start creating our links. So if we go back to homepage, we can also import YT search results page, and that's what that's gonna return for us ultimately. Okay, back to the search results page. If we play a video, where do we get? We get to the, let's call this the video page. Pages YouTube / video page .py. Copy things. YouTube video page .py. And we'll change search results to video. Okay, now what can we do on the video page? Or what do we want to do? We could add a public comment. I don't know if I really want to do this, so we'll do it like a million times here. We could like it. Yeah, I suppose that's a good thing to do. So, like the video. And, oh, we also talked about pausing. And we talked about starting it again. Not sure how we're going to verify any of this, but we'll see. And then what else do we want to do from this page? I guess we could... Ooh, that's going to be ridiculously difficult to automate. This thing here. Well, maybe not. We'll see. So if we do this, that minimizes the video. Or maybe it goes. Yeah, I'll call it minimize. Not sure if we'll actually want to use all these or not. And then if it's there's no real easy way to close this. That's probably intentional. But so I guess to close it, we minimize, and then we can close. There we go. And then we can also navigate home. Okay, so let's add video page to our little page dictionary here. Oh, someone else commented, hey, Vadim, not sure if I'm pronouncing your name right, video page or YT video page. Now we can make use of that in our search results page. And the play video will turn that. Cool. So now we've got our page object model built out, so we can stub out our test. And we can, so first thing we want to do since we're at the home page is instantiate that from pages import YT homepage. Home YT homepage equals YT homepage dot instance, and we pass in driver. So then from the homepage, we're going to search maybe we don't need. So then we can say we get to the search page by searching from the home page. Search for Appium. Then once we're at the search page, we'll get the video page by clicking search.play video. And the title of the video that we wanted to play, you can go ahead and fill that in. Headspin webinar, making your Appium tests reliable, and so on. Let's make sure we just do a substring. Make your Appium tests reliable. Well, if I like this in here, it's kind of like it's telling us what to do. I don't know if I want to make my test reliable. Okay, so what we want to do, let's first like the video, then let's pause the video, then let's play the video, then let's minimize the video, then let's close the video, and then let's navigate back to home. Verify that something changed there, and then verify video paused, started playing again. More and more, I'm thinking we're not probably get through all of this in the next half hour, but hopefully at least get close. Strikes me that we could probably run this right now. And since this is all just empty, it should pass. I don't know if we'll run into any Python issues, but just kind of curious to see if this works. Oh, it does not. None type has no attribute play video. Oh, that's because we're not actually, yeah, we didn't build our page objects totally correctly yet. So ultimately what we want to do is return YT search results page instance passing the self driver. Because that's what we say we're doing, isn't it? And here we're going to return YT video page instance self driver. Video page doesn't need to return anything. Sweet. So we walked through our entire test flow. Now we just need to fill it out. So to do that, let's use Appium Desktop for help. I'm going to start a session on this. And I'm going to do that, I'm going to pull capabilities. From oh, this is annoying. It's all in. Must be a different way. Aha, here we go. Pull those capabilities in, and fill this out. Cool, here are our capabilities. I'm gonna save this as YouTube Android. Sweet. Now let's start a session. Oops. Oh, I had an error here. All right. Accidentally deleted one too many things. Let's try that again. Put that over there so we can kind of see what's going on. Enter a world of chaos. We need a hero like you. Sorry. We've got enough chaos as it is. I don't know who'd want to opt into more chaos, but there you go. Cool. So here, all we want to do is search. So first thing we care about, finding the search icon. Ooh, has an accessibility ID of search, so that's nice. So we can say search icon equals, we want mobile by, and we need to import that. So I'm gonna go steal it from this file. Right, so mobile by dot accessibility ID, and has an accessibility ID of search. So first thing we want to do is say self dot, no, I think it's just self dot find. No. Why does it think that, why is it giving me string options here? Self is not. No, that's not right. There we go. That's better. Yeah. Self.wait for self.search icon. .click. So first thing we're gonna do is click this. So let's actually just do that here. And the keyboard is already focused, but we have this edit text here with the text of search YouTube. Can probably be certain that's the only edit. Oh, it has an ID, so that's super easy. So this is search field. ID, search edit text. And what we want to do is send keys, obviously. Send in the term. See if that works here. Nope, not search, sorry. Send keys, Appium. And then we can hit, well, what we want to do is essentially hit enter. I wonder. This, I'm guessing, will not work. Okay, that cleared out. What if I send in Appium /n there? Yeah, that works. So we're gonna want to change this into a format string. Send in something like that instead to actually do the search. That will get us to our search results page. Search results. There we are. So here we are. What we want to do is find a video by its title. So if I just... Looks like there's a whole thing here that's in front of all of this stuff. It's a progress bar, apparently. That's not cool. So that means we're gonna have to do a little jigging through this hierarchy ourselves. You know what? At least we are dealing with an app that has been designed by Google, so they're probably going to put IDs on lots of things. And accessibility IDs even. Loading layout. No, that's not the one we want. Is there nothing else here? Bottom bar container, loading layout. Oh, results. Oh, it's a recycler view. Interesting. So that means its content is going to be continually refreshed. Yeah. Since we refresh, though, we get stuff in here. So this would just be if we're using a explicit weight or something like that. We'll make sure to populate the content. When Appium Desktop took the snapshot of the source and screenshot, nothing was here because no content had yet populated that recycler view. But now there is stuff here. A little bit of an interesting race condition. So anyway, here we go. This actually has an accessibility ID of the full title, the time, and a bunch of other stuff. So we can just search for a partial accessibility ID using this XPath as a basis here. Let's just copy this in for the moment, and then go back to our home page, import mobile buy again, and then well, this is going to be dynamic, isn't it? So to play the video, we need to find the video. So we're going to wait for mobile by XPath and the XPath itself. It's going to start out like this, but instead of equals, we're going to do contains content description, and it needs to contain whatever title we sent in, and we're not going to bother escaping that at the moment. Just trust that everyone is going to do the right thing. And this needs to be format string. And we're just going to click that. Oh, my linter doesn't like that. I think that would work, but I just don't like really long lines, but I guess there's nothing inherently wrong with that. Okay, so that gets us to the video page. So let's actually tap this thing. Okay, it is actively playing at the moment. Let's refresh because Appium Desktop didn't load everything. There we go. So let's now go to our video page. Got all these things to fill out. Is there an easy way to like? Okay, sweet. This has an accessibility ID of like this video along with blah, blah, blah. Ah, this is amazing. This is gonna help us see how many people like this video. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot easier to find. So we can actually create a new function like get number of likes. This is going to return integer. So to actually like it, what we want to do is, well, let's import our mobile by again. So we want self.weight, and we want mobile by xpath, and this is going to be just whichever element has a content description which contains like this video. Actually, and this is not dynamic, so we can say like button. It's like this. Cool. So then, oh, we would want to click that. And then to get the number of likes, we basically say text is wait for the like button, and then get its text. And then basically want to do a sort of regular expression match. I think we already did this. Yeah, the Craigslist search results page, we did this, actually. Yeah, so we compiled a regular expression to match, and then we substituted anything that wasn't a number into it and got the number out and made it an integer. So we're just going to do the same thing. Actually, we were looking for a number in the Craigslist example as well. So non-number is that. And what we want to do is return the integer version of the substitution of any non-number with nothing in that text. Sweet. We'll rename this variable to like text just so it's a little more. Okay, I'm actually curious if what happens if we do like it. Does this text change? It does. The count changes. No, it's still there. It's still called like this video along with 27 other people. But, well, let's refresh that because it's now 28 people, and that's what we're gonna want to see. Interesting. So this doesn't actually... Oh man, so we might not be able to rely on getting that number from this text. Let's see where... So we've got something called button text, which is a sibling of like this video. And it has, so this is going to be more reliable, but this button text resource ID is not, it's not unique. So we should probably use a sibling XPath. Okay. So this is going to be another complicated XPath here. And it's going to look, we did something like this recently. Yeah. So we're first going to find the thing that maybe we should just make this a little call it like X path here. And this is going to be a format string that uses the like X path. And then we want the following sibling, which is has the ID of button text. Button underscore text. Okay, that's a wild query. Let's see if this works. So, now we can just return this though, because it is itself a number. Okay, so get number of likes should now work, so that would help us. We can go back and update our test to say current num likes equals video dot get num likes video dot like, and now we can say assert video dot get num likes is greater than current num likes. Cool. I like when we can do that as we go along. Let's keep filling out this video page. So how do we pause? I'm just kind of curious if there is a pause element. Accessibility ID. Nope. Pause. Nope. So how do we pause? Well, first we tap the video. Did that do anything to make it show up? Yeah, so this is just the video player here. So if we tap the video player, it does the thing that we wanted. Is it enough to find? Okay. Ooh, expanded mini player. Expand mini player. This looks promising. What's all this stuff in here? Controls layout. That looks promising as well. Aha. Pause video. Okay, so that does have a content description. It's pause video. It's not up anymore, so we can't tap it. But, I suppose what would we do here? Can we tap the layout itself? We can. No, can't. What about this expand mini player button? We can. So we can tap this expand mini player button, and then we can get to these other elements. So let's first keep a record of that. And this was called expand mini player, like that. So to pause, this is going to be kind of interesting. So we'll want to wait for expand, click that, and then really quickly look for the thing that says pause video. I think it's spelled like that. Yep. And we only want a short wait for that. If that doesn't happen within a second or two, we're not going to be able to do it anyway. So pause like that. Okay, and then play is going to look the same. But what we want actually is we want to make sure before we click pause that we can't find the pause button. So here's what I'm going to do. And then we need a no such. Right, I want to import no such element exception. But if we get a no such element exception, then we're good. So here's what we're saying. Basically, we're saying if we can find the pause button, oops, let's not do this. Or I suppose what we can just do is just wait a second. Just wait 2 seconds, because that little thing goes away for sure. So here's what we're saying. We're saying if the pause button... Actually, this is ridiculous. If the pause button is visible, just click it. I was making things way more complicated than they need to be. But if it's not visible, that's okay. Click the expand thing, and then try and click it, the pause button. So this is the same thing that we're going to want to do for play. So let me just pause it manually here. And then see. Yep, and it turns into play video here. And then we need like a private method called like mini control. Because we're going to do this like many times. So we're just going to look for that control. And then under play, I'll just do play like that. That way we don't have so much duplication. We do need to import locator from somewhere. Is that on base page? Yeah. Sweet. All right. So that will pause and play for us. And then if we want to minimize, It's actually just called minimize. I picked the right word. Menu controls self dot minimize. Oops, doesn't actually exist yet. So let's tap minimize. And then we want this close. Uh-oh. Ooh, what's... Ah, okay, sweet. There's something called close. And the ID is floaty close button. Floaty play pause button. Very whimsical, Google. I like it. All right, this is under the play pause. Floaty bar controls view is what this whole thing is called. I love it. Watch player. Okay, sweet. But we can click close. It's just an accessibility ID of close. Oops, and I didn't rename this one to minimize. So close is just gonna... And then navigating to the home. That, we'll see this has a content description of home. You can tap it, so. And that goes back. Okay, so we have actually implemented all of the methods, and we had already used all our methods to create a flow. Oops. So that means we should be able to just try and run this and see what happens. So let's close that, just clear out any state. Man, this is gonna be wild if it works. Actually, I'm feeling kind of hopeful today. I know it never works on the first try because there's always some typo that I make, but hey, it's exciting, exciting times. Let's try this again. Totally close the app there. See how far we get. Cheers. We did not get far. Oh, that's because locator is not imported from pages. But we should actually. We should import that from pages. Put this in the middle for your viewing pleasure. Search Appium. That \n didn't work. Okay. Why did the \n? I have a weird thought. What was that? No, this is homepage, isn't it? Yeah. I wonder what happens if we try and actually, because in Appium desktop it worked. We put in the \n and it did it. But I'm wondering if that's because that got turned into a literal backslash. Yep, that's interesting. Okay, we're gonna find our video. No, doesn't look like it. Oh, that's because timeout exception. Let's check our Appium logs. What were we looking for? We were looking for something that can have the content description contained to make your Appium tests reliable. And really couldn't find it. Making your Appium tests reliable. This is not the exact same thing that I wrote. Well, let's actually just go back here and start ourselves a new session. This was on the search results page now, and we're looking for wrong app, YouTube. Yeah, looking for the view group whose content description contains that thing that we want. That looks right. So if I just do this here. And if once this is loaded, search for an element by accessibility ID, XPath. And if I just copy this in here, and title should be making your Appium tests reliable. Yeah, we found one. What is going on? Oh, it's because I put in the wrong word. Making your Appium tests reliable. It's always something like that, isn't it? The hour is up. I want this to work. I want it to work now. Appium. A lot of people say Appium. Sweet. There we go. Wait for those likes. Oh, the problem is though that I'm not going to be able to like that again. What were we looking for in this? We were looking for something whose content description contains like this video. Oh, it has a following sibling whose ID contains button text. Problem is that maybe that's not actually, I think that might be the resource ID. I might have just assumed that the attribute was called ID. I mean, it's called ID in Appium, but Android XML might look different. And I should probably, okay, I can unlike that so that my test will pass. But I was looking at this, yeah, that's called, the attribute is called resource-ID. Not ID actually. This is the video page now. Yeah, and I'm just gonna test this XPath, because why not? It's always a good idea to test it, right? So first we have that, and then we add this onto it. Oh no, there's two things. Oh, because the other one said unlike this video. So we would get the 2 as well. That's okay. This is the first one. So yeah, that's actually going to work, I think. Anything else that looks off? Expand menu player, pause video. That so far all looks good. Close this up again. Appium, video. Yes, added to liked videos. Now can we actually pause this? No, we can't actually pause this. What happened? Let's see where we got this error. We were trying to pause, and we were... Oh, that's because we're not getting a no such element exception. When we use static waits, we get a selenium.common.exceptions.timeout exception. Oops. So this will actually be a timeout exception, not a no such element exception, because we're using explicit waits. So that makes a lot of sense, actually. Just gonna quickly unlike this video. It's a good way to artificially inflate views of videos here, isn't it? Okay. And go. Liked it. Now, hopefully we will not fail when we can't find the pause button. And then pause it. Yes, play. No. That's not what we wanted to have happen. And it looks like we were still trying to minimize. Video.minimize, but we did minimize it. Oh, I know what's going on. If we do click it up here, we don't want to also click it somewhere else. That would be problematic. Hate having to clean out all this state, but I am getting pretty fast at it. So, just explaining again what I was doing. If we find the control the first time around, we then don't want to wait for the expand button and click it. So this is why we had 2 extra clicks. So I'm gonna pause and play. And actually these are gonna come with their own verifications now, so we don't need to really assert anything because just finding the elements themselves is going to be enough. Oh yeah, test YouTube's all the way up here. There we go. So we don't really need to do these verifications because we're essentially already doing them. Try that one more time. Things are behaving weirdly, like we just saw. We intended to tap the pause button and the play button, but then we saw it tap itself several other times. That was odd, but there's a reason. It's because our code was wrong. Oh no, ads. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, I'm just gonna cheat and there we go. Move that down a little bit. The non-deterministic ads to kill automation. I should have a scroll until yes. Success. All right. So worked. I had to step in because some ads were there that we didn't account for. Easy enough to have a scroll to instead of just a wait for that video. But I'm not going to add that now because we're already like 15 minutes. I was about to say 15 hours. Feels like that this week. 15 minutes past the cutoff time. So let's just briefly review what we did. We figured out how to launch YouTube. We actually built out our page objects just from using the application, which is, I think, a good exercise because it helps you think about what you're doing without any locators in the picture at all. Because page objects really aren't about locators. I mean, they can hold locators as a sort of implementation detail. That's really about what are you doing with this page? So we took the opportunity to say that in code in Python. And then once we did all that, we started filling it out with locators and with specific behaviors. We also got the idea to get the number of likes, write a function to get the number of likes so that we could make an assertion that the like was successful. And then we walked through a couple of the main controls for the player. And all of these, you know, any one of these would have failed had the previous one not done its thing appropriately, I believe. And then we went back to the homepage. So this is a sort of happy path for YouTube. Obviously a big application, lots of complex things, lots of things that we could test, including video itself, video quality, whether the video is playing, whether it's the right video. We didn't do any of that, but we did walk through basic functional flow. So we're going to leave it there. I will commit this code and push it to the repo that we showed at the beginning. And hope everybody has a great weekend. Cheers. Happy testing. Bye.